What is up, everybody? Bootman here, and we're back with another Marvel Snap video. And in this video, we're gonna be talking about this guy right here, Kang. He is one of the big bads, and he was also recently in the Spotlight Caches, but he is not a card people really want right now, and they don't really want to play. So I wanted to discuss, what are ways that we could rework Kang? What could Kang become if they were to change him in an upcoming patch? And all of these suggestions actually come from all of you beautiful people. So that's what I wanted to go over in this video. I plucked out some of your ideas. I wanted to discuss them a little and get some of your thoughts for you beautiful viewers out there. All right, but before we get started, if you're new here, hi, my name's Chris. I also go by Bootman. Yeah, I usually go over different deck card strategies to help you rank up on the ladder, to help you win in conquest mode, all that kind of stuff, to help you become a better Marvel Snap player. But I also like doing some videos like this every now and then. So if you're into that, make sure you subscribe, ring that notification bell, and make sure you go follow me over on Twitter. I just announced the new season pass giveaway. I'm giving away 3 this month for the Elsa Bloodstone season. All right, so make sure you head over to my Twitter, make sure you follow me there. Everything you need is linked down in the description below. All right, so let's jump into this. All right, so let me take you back. Let me give you a quick history. For those of you who are newer to Marvel Snap, if you weren't around when Kang launched, like, yo, you do not even understand. You do not understand the hype around this card, all right? I talk about how cards are overhyped a lot, but Kang was hyped to the high heavens. And trust me, I was on that bandwagon as well. All right, like this was going to be like, you know, a better Daredevil. You get to see what your opponent was gonna do. You get to rewind it, all sorts of stuff. I was even planning for this video. I was even thinking about how people found this like infinite loop bug where you could just keep the game going and just keep it going and rewinding the turn. Dara JN found it. People got all upset and everything like that. I've literally never seen anybody do it just because people don't want to play this card. Alex Kochia kind of popularized the card for like a month or two ago with like a double She-Hulk deck, but this card has been like mostly useless, and it sucks because it's the big bad. Like when this came out, everybody was trying to get it. There was a bug with the card coming out, and some people didn't get it. We were like losing our minds. It didn't show up in some of our shop refreshes because they didn't have it set up where the brand new card will always show up. So it's just a bummer. Like this card just bums me out because nobody wants to play with it. So in the recent Spotlight Caches, what happened was I saw somebody tweet out like, I got Kang. I'm like, man, the way the conversation around this card has just like done a complete 180. So anyways, what had happened was I tweeted out, so make sure you're following me on Twitter. We do fun stuff like this. I tweeted out and I said, leave a reply. How would you rework this card? What would you do to make it better? I think we have a very creative community. I figured a lot of you had a bunch of good ideas. I wanted to see what they were. So I'll link this tweet down in the description below if any of you want to check it out. There was over 100 replies to this. So we had 167 replies just so far. So if you want to go check it out, see other people's ideas, or let me know what you would do to rework Kang down in the comments below, all right? Like I found these very interesting. I only picked out like eight or 9 of the 100 or so there's a bunch more that I'm not gonna have time to go over, all right? So let's start going through these. So the first one comes from fellow content creator Drew Berry. If you're not following him, make sure you do. Drew actually just made an amazing video on Elsa Bloodstone. He actually got to test out Elsa Bloodstone for a featured video over on the official Marvel Snap channel, like I got to do a while back for Echo. So he knows all the mechanics, and he always does like videos about the new cards and their mechanics. So make sure you go check out that video from Drew. I learned a lot about Elsa Bloodstone. So anyways, Drew says, same ability, but when the turn restarts, your deck is shuffled. That way, if you don't like your draw, Kang gives you an opportunity to redraw for something else. I don't think this is terrible. Like, I think that would be something interesting, but like, and I think this is, like, if I had to go on like a scale of 1 to 10 on how like realistic I think this would be for like second dinner to actually do it, I think this one would be up there, right? Because it's symmetrical, right? Like both people would deal with this, and you're just beholden to RNG. Are you gonna get like a really good hand? Are you going to get like a really bad hand? Is your deck gonna shuffle in a good way or a bad way? It affects both players. So I could see second dinner being like, okay, that seems fair. You know what I mean? I'm curious though, would it still be a 5 cost? Would we go something like the crystal route and do it then? You know what I mean? All right, next one comes from another creator too, Combat Snap. Excellent creator. He comes up with a bunch of great deck ideas, so make sure you check out his channel. So he says 5-0, So same power, same cost. Similar effect with rewind, but for the rest of the game, your cards appear as Kang clones, so they can't see what you're playing. I really, really like that. I like that a lot. So it's almost like Mysterio, but for all of your cards, right? So your opponent has to guess. So, and it says for the rest of the game. So you realistically, you only have one turn, right? Unless you play Magic. Then you have 2 turns where you're just kind of going in undercover and they don't see what you're doing. I like that. Now, some of these though, I'm gonna talk about like the flavor of it. I'm not sure how much this like aligns with the flavor, because like Kang has like variants, right? And they look different. So I don't know if it hits the flavor wise, but I do think this is an interesting ability. I don't know if it would be overpowered like with Magic, like if you did 2 turns like that and your opponent's just like flying blind and just has to assume, right? And like, how would that work with on reveal effects, right? Like, let's say turn 6, I drop like a Shang-Chi or an Enchantress. Does that just go off at the very end? Because then that would be really, really good, unless they dropped a Cosmo or something, then you like missed your opportunity and you kind of blew your card. So that might be balanced, but yeah, interesting. All right, so this next one comes from Kirkland. Signature is good. I just realized what their name is. That's hilarious. Okay, 5-0, look at what your opponent did, draw a card and give you priority. So I chose this one just because it's interesting. Like the priority thing, it's like, is that good or bad? Like you would have to kind of design your deck around that ability, right? Because some decks you don't want priority. Like look at like, you know, Kitty Pryde, you know, before she got nerfed, like with a lot of Kitty's strength, and it still is that you don't have priority. So you'd want a deck where you want priority, and I just recently covered a deck with like Eliath from my co-host Bradsifer, so that would do really well with that. But I also like how it's like draw a card. All right, so let me say this. Like Kang has been such a bad card. Like I know Glenn has mentioned this multiple times. They don't want the ability to draw cards like to be out there too much because it's a 12 card deck. And yeah, they don't want it to be too available, right? That's why they're very careful with Crystal. But Kang has been so bad for so long. Just let my boy draw you a card. Let him draw you a card, all right? So this next one comes from Mike. On reveal, restart 6th round with both players' hand and deck reshuffled. Destroy random card in opponent's deck before a hand is drawn. I like this. I like this a ton. I'll tell you why I like this. Although Cable is not played that much, some people have been putting him in like Loki collector decks, right? But I cannot tell you, like, and I don't, like, let me know down in the comments, like, playing against Cable is one of the most frustrating things in Marvel Snap to me. Whenever Cable is played, like, it completely changes everything. I have no idea what card they took from me, right? So all of the probabilities for what I can draw, you know what I mean? And like, Kang is like, or I mean, Cable is played on turn 2. So I'm going 4 rounds, right? 4 more turns where I'm guessing whether or not I'll even draw a card. Like that, it messes with your head. So I really like this because it's similar to that. And I think that would be great. I think that would be fantastic, right? Like the opponent just has to guess like, what can I not draw? Like, what am I missing here, you know? So yeah, I really like that. Next one comes from Saiyan. So this was an interesting one. So he stays a 5-0. Once you see the opponent's play, you can either rewind the turn, all right? I saw quite a few like this, like giving you the choice of rewinding. I think that alone would be decent, right? But you would need some power out there. So you can either rewind the turn or Kang turns into a 0-5 or 0-8 and goes back into your hand. That gives him some extra utility, but not completely overpowered. That's where I'm gonna stop you. That's what I'm gonna stop you saying. Like having a 0-5 to a 0-8, that is huge. That is an insane amount of power for no energy at all. So like, I would say I chose this because I like it, but I think maybe like a like a 0-2 or 0-3. Maybe a 0-2 or 0-3, right? Like I can see that being played with just like, like a bishop deck, stuff that gets like buffed up, maybe even with like Elsa Bloodstone, but like 0-2 or 0-3, I think would like make it something a little bit more realistic. Like adding 5 to 8 power for no energy on the final turn of the game would be absolutely bonkers. All right, so Bart VD, he says, keep Kang's stats as they are, but make him make you draw a card when the turn restarts. Again, going back to that, I like that. I think I said that. That would be fine. That would be fine just as it is. Simple rework, just let him have you draw a card. That's it. Because the dude is basically a dead card in your hand. So yeah, just let the dude let you draw a card. That's it. That's it. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. There's a lot more creative stuff in here, but going back to like the realistic level, like let's let my boy draw you a card. All right. So a normal man says 6'10". 6'10", when Kang is played, see your opponent's move, rewind the turn without Kang and draw a card, or end the game. So it's like the decision becomes yours and he's a much better daredevil at that point. I like that. I like that a lot, right? So like you could do it, you could play out this big beefy boy, but if it didn't win you the game, you could rewind it. You could rewind it and you don't have Kang, so it's not like you could just place it in a different spot this time, right? Or you put it out there and you're just like, okay, cool, I won that, boom. Like, I think that would be cool. That is, I wouldn't say Galactus-esque because it's not like destroying multiple locations and like completely changing the game, but I think that one's a really cool idea. I don't know if they would do 6'10". If I had to get realistic, I would say like maybe like a 6'7" or 6'8", probably. Like 6'10", like puts Kang up there like pretty high, but he's still below like a Magneto, right? And a Hulk. But yeah, Kang's a big bad. Like, this will put him on par with Thanos. So yeah, maybe 6'10", but I think, they might go with like a 6'8" or something like that, just to kind of balance out the power of that ability. All right, Raphael says, on reveal, restart, this is an interesting one. On reveal, restart the game from the turn you snap. Opponent can't retreat. Dang. That's interesting. All right, like, that's interesting. Like and I think the flavor is kind of there as well. So like, just imagine like first turn snapping and the game just goes sideways, right? But like also first turn snapping and you have no idea what your opponent's playing. As many of you know, I'm very like conservative with my first turn snaps. I've gotten a little bit more aggressive, like just because of conquest mode and stuff like that. But that's interesting. I really, really, really like that one. Like that adds like a lot of strategy to the game. You could also play it like, turn 6 and take you back to like turn 3 or something. I just wonder how this would work if you don't snap, right? Like, is it just not useful, So like, I could see this being like very beneficial, but a lot of people do use the Kang snap strategy with it. So I don't know. I'm curious all of your thoughts down there. Like, I feel like we're on the right track with this one though. That's very interesting. And then last up, this one had a lot of likes and it is one of the more interesting ones. There are a few people in the thread who said something like this, but Matt went the extra mile and he put some more information. So when played, rewind the turn and randomly add a Kang variant to your hand. So the flavor of this tastes so good. All right, so there's obviously a lot of different Kang variants, everything. And a few people mentioned this, but Matt mentions, so Ramatut Kang 6'14" cannot be played into the location you just played Kang. Victor Timely Kang 6'8", on reveal, any card here with less than 8 power loses 2 power. Immortus Kang 6'2", on reveal pulls 3 random opponent cards to your side of the board. And like, yeah, like just right here, like, I don't know if these abilities are like, what I would have, but like, I like it. Like, I love this idea. Like, that is very flavorful. And you know what's interesting too? Iron Lad is a Kang variant, right? So like in the comics, so like you could just make one of easy. You don't even have to design a new card. Just toss in Iron Lad, right? So maybe on turn 6, boom, I can drop an Iron Lad. So yeah, like I think that would be very interesting. All right, but anyways, getting back to our man Kang. This is something that's been on my mind because Kang was kind of a letdown for a lot of us. So let me know down in the comments below, did you like any of the ones that we went over? What would you do to rework Kang? I feel like they're planning on reworking Kang, so maybe we can help nudge them in a certain direction. All right, but anyways, that's all I got for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Don't forget, head over to my Twitter. I just announced the new Elsa Bloodstone Season Pass giveaway. I'm giving away 3. I'll be picking them Monday or Tuesday. They just changed the time of the release, so I'll do it based on that. But anyways, that's all I got for this video. Make sure you're subscribed, ring the notification bell. I think I said that. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.